Welcome to episode number 20 of the Dogmastic Show. So, my tip for today is when you're walking your dog, please pick up after them because I was in downtown Miami off of Biscayne and went to a very, high class apartment complex. And even though there's poop bag holders on the sidewalks, there's poop everywhere. It's absolutely disgusting. It's not even that the people are not picking up after them in the grass. They're allowing them to actually defecate in the on the street, on the sidewalks. So it's really not safe because first off, you don't know the stool that's on the ground could be infected with worms or parasites, and a dog's paws can absorb all of the toxins that are on the street. So if the dog steps on the stool, then they can get worms, they can get parasites, they can get sick just because another dog is sick and is not taken care of. Plus, it's disgusting. I mean, if your dog or yourself steps on some stool and then you don't realize it and you walk in the house, even if you take your shoes off at the door, like in the front, you're still tracking it in. And my suggestion is to wipe your dog's paws off as soon as you walk into the door, just so whatever they did step on, then you're cleaning their paws and it's keeping your floors much cleaner. So that is my tip for today. And I think it's just extremely important for the safety and for the cleanliness. So I am really excited because I am going to bring on Amy Fagan. And this episode is about just for the love of animals. And where did it all begin? So give me one moment and I'm going to bring her on. Hello, Amy. Welcome.
Hi, Sherry. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
I totally agree about your tip. I mean, especially if you're downtown, my goodness. But we have the same thing because we have chickens, and people say, make sure to wear like separate shoes to go see the chickens and take them off before you come in the house. Sort of similar to that because chickens.
They're just digging. They're digging into the ground, and who knows what's in the ground.
Well, and I think it's even more like you don't want to get them sick if you've been around something else because they're so their like respiratory systems are so fragile and they're so vulnerable to a lot of illnesses.
Oh,
I mean, it
okay.
can go either way for sure, but
Right.
that is, I mean, especially during like last year when we were talking, there was the whole avian flu. Like people had to keep their chickens under cover, like just keep them penned up and stuff.
Okay.
For that reason, like because they could get sick so easily.
Right. So, what animals do you have?
I have a rescue dog. Her name is Whitney, and we have a cat that we rescued as well. Her name is Amelia, and we have a regular cat that we've had since kittenhood. His name is Clarence, and we have 9 chickens.
Nice. So the chickens, are they both like roosters and hens, or what?
Yeah. So out of the 9, we have three roosters, which is they're not great odds, except they're all tiny roosters, so they're not like doing a lot of damage. They're not too rough. They're not too rough.
Okay. And they all get along?
Mostly. I mean, I think the roosters have, they're like they have like little dog attitude, the little dog syndrome where they think they're a big dog, but so they act all tough, but they're like, tiny. These guys are all like 2 or 3 pounds and they just think they are the stuff. It's pretty funny. But they have this like call and response thing in the morning every day where one of them will start to call and then the other two will take turns responding. But they all they're crows because they're all very different.
So it's all different every morning?
It sounds pretty similar every morning, but each of the boys all have a different crow. Like they sound different. Rudy sounds like an old lady, and like it's like shrill and like shrieky. And then the two younger boys, they have girl names because we did not know. So Gigi has a pretty good crow, and it's pretty solid. And then Penny tries, but Penny sounds like he's in puberty. His voice cracks, and it's pretty funny.
Nice. So when did your love for animals begin?
I have always been drawn to animals. I had my younger years, I don't remember very well, but I just always kind of clung to animals because they needed me, because I could take care of them, and because they would love me anyway. Like we just, we moved around a lot. And so whatever animals we had, um, I just really clung to them and I wanted to take care of them and I wanted to just hang out with them. And so when I got my own place, I got a cat right away. And she was the best thing ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing is they're angels. They're angels placed on this earth to bring us love and to show us acceptance. And growing up I felt awkward as well, and it was the animals that I was more comfortable expressing myself and like playing with and feeling 100% comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there was no nervousness whatsoever. It was just like pure love.
Yeah. Yeah. And then then I got a dog and she passed away at almost 15 years old, but she was everything to me. Oh my gosh. I was broken when she passed away, and then I said I would never have another dog because I didn't want to hurt like that again. And then we ended up getting another dog. We ended up with Whitney because 6 months later I was like unhealthy, like just really unhealthy. I couldn't see myself walking without a leash in my hand. And then I didn't want to walk with a leash in my hand without a dog because that would be weird. So we got a dog. And it's been tricky. She's very complicated. She, like I said, she was a rescue, and we don't know what her life was like before us. So she's very like what's the like reactive, very anxious, and like she bites me a lot, but she just doesn't. I don't know. She doesn't like surprises. She doesn't like having her nails cut. She doesn't like other dogs. She doesn't like people. But she loves us. And I was trying to figure out like why is she so complicated? We've been together for 5 years now. And one day it just occurred to me that she's like the dog version of me. Like just
She's your mirror for a reason.
all those traits that are so like complicated and difficult. I'm like, why are you like that? Yeah, it's just me.
So When you say that she bites, like what exactly happened? And like, why does she bite or
I
what
don't.
exactly?
I don't. Like, we'll be having a moment, I'll be petting her face and she'll just like snap and I don't know, like she's only bit me a couple of times, like on purpose, like hard bite, but mostly it's just like snippy, like, okay, I'm done. And I think it's just her way of saying that, maybe.
Mhm.
I mean, I've tried having I had an animal communicator come over and I was like, I just, I don't know what I'm working with. Like, how can we help her? And she just said, you don't want to know. And, that broke my heart. And I was like, okay, I guess I don't want to know. But
Wait. The animal communicator said that? I mean, that's what. So, so there was no. She just. So the dog was not communicating with the animal communicator.
she just said, we don't want to know how bad her life was. Like what her
Oh,
past was, what she came here with. It's better that we don't know.
okay, got it. Um, Interesting. But I mean, like the times that she did bite you hard, um, was it just out of nowhere?
It
Or-
was it was definitely stress. I mean, one time she bit me in the middle of the night. Like my other dog, I could touch her whenever. Like, she's laying beside me. I would just like pat her in the middle of the night, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. You cannot do that with Whitney. She does not like surprises. Uh,
Gotcha.
and then the other time was at the vet.
Okay. So the vet, I mean, you can't blame her because, it's just a stressful situation no matter what. Um, and, you know, that's the thing about rescues is because we don't know exactly what happened to them and how traumatized they are because of their past, then you just have to be patient. You just have to be patient
Mhm.
and realize that a dog's memory is absolutely amazing because even anything that happens to them in between 4 and 9 weeks of their lives is like ingrained into their minds. So if they're not, if they were taken away from their mom and their siblings too young, then they didn't learn what they needed to learn.
Mhm.
They didn't learn all that. And then who knows if she was just placed into an abusive situation, like, at a very young age.
Right.
So, so like, the important thing there is spatial boundaries. We have spatial boundaries, so it's so important to respect the animal's spatial boundaries as well, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and just by touching her face, it triggered something that was just like rah, and then she reacted.
Right.
Um,
And she's always like after that, like I will, like pull back and she'll be like, "Oh no, no, I'm so sorry," you know?
mhm. Right. So
It's
it's called
instinct. It's not.
right. It's like a red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in that split second the memory comes up and it's just like rah! And then afterwards it's like, oh no, what did
Right.
I do? Like, then the regret and the remorse comes after, but it's in that instant of like, that's it. Don't
Yeah.
touch me.
Yep. Very much so. But
And after those times, I mean, like, how is it now? How's
same. The same.
thing?
Like, yeah, I mean, I like if I'm sitting next to her, she'll like use her head to like make me pet her head. And I don't recommend that for any friend. Like if a friend comes over, I'll be like, don't give into that. But like I will pet her head once if she makes me, and then I'll wait and see if she asks me again. and usually she will, but I don't do any extra unless she asks,
Okay.
which is sad, but
Um, Now, in regards to my training, the training that I do is I don't use treats for training, but for because I mean you have a bond already with her, no matter what.
mhm.
But like one thing that you can do is use the food as as a treat. So every single time that like if she nudges you, then if she nudges you, then the next time, then one thing that you can do is go and get a treat, or like get a couple treats or whatever, and then you sit down and you start like you just pet her, and you give her that one pet, and then give her the treat, and like, hey, good girl, like it's just all positive.
Mhm.
And then because you're incorporating the food into that, then you can start like petting her again. But the important thing is just always start from under the chin. Start from under the chin, just like a cat, because if you start from on top of the head,
She can't see that.
well, I mean, it's also the hand coming towards the head. Even though it's your hand, it still can be a trigger. So that's why the good thing is when you have the treat your hand is by her mouth anyway. And most dogs do is they'll take the treat and then give you a lick of like acceptance. So your hand is by her neck anyway. So then you just start like petting her here, and then like you're slowly going up, and then like once you get to, if she doesn't have any issues with her ears, once you get to her ears, then just start rubbing her ears, because she has nerve endings on the on her ears, and
Mhm.
it calms her down. So it gets her calm instead of like tense of like what's going on. So you're just there, and then you're just softly petting her. But then like once you get to her ears, and then hey, good girl, like you're just like totally baby talking her,
Showering
then
her
you
before.
can, yeah, then you can give her another treat, just to show her that, like, to create that that bond even more, you know because I mean, like, if you, because it's happened before, if you show her that apprehension, she can pick up on it in a second, you know
Mhm.
so
Hmm.
so it's just good to um give it a try.
Okay, can do.
So how are the chickens? Do they have their own personality?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nice.
I mean, I already told you about the roosters, but they are pretty funny. The little roosters, Gigi and Penny, will like attack your feet. That whole like little thing, syndrome. And the girls are pretty cool. I mean, they have their pecking order. There are a few that we've had longer, and they are a little bossy and hungry. They're always hungry. Uh,
Fun.
yeah. And I
And
mean, Whitney she can do okay with the chickens, which is cool. I mean, because she's a cattle dog mix, so she's got that like prey drive. But she does okay.
excellent. That's good. That's good. So you got Penny after you had the chickens, or you got the chickens after?
We've had chickens for 10, 10 years, I think. I mean, not the same chickens, but
Mhm.
we've been keeping chickens for about 10 years, and we've had her for going on 6 years, I think.
Okay.
So the chickens came first, but she just, a lot of things because she has that prey drive. If something moves around her fast, she will chase it.
Mhm.
So like when there are little chicks around and they're running around, you have to protect them. But if they're just like moseying around, she's totally cool.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you live in Maine?
I live in Maine.
Right. So you have a lot of land like on your property, or are
We're
you good?
we're on about an acre.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just enough to have to take care of it and to have a little space.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what do you do? What do you do
Mm.
for your life?
I I work full time for a healthcare company, and so I work from home, and I also have a jam business, so I make and sell jam, and I also have a podcast
Nice.
in my
What
spare time.
and what's your podcast about?
My podcast is called Grounded in Maine, and it is about sustainability.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you interview like just um different people or different farmers?
I People in all areas of life. I mean, I've interviewed farmers. I've interviewed a girl who thrift shops, and she creates style bundles out of the thrifted clothes, which is very cool. I interviewed a some people who make soap. I interviewed a girl who renovates RVs. So it's open. People
Nice.
who are doing sustainable things. Like I just want to encourage people to do something because there are so many ways that you can practice sustainability.
No matter where you live, you can
Life.
practice sustainability
Yeah.
and grow your own food and um, just help the environment as much as possible. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had a girl on who she makes her own broth, and that doesn't sometimes it might not sound like a lot, but at the same time, like she knows exactly what's in it. It costs her nothing because you just when you're making salad or whatever, you keep your scraps in a bag in the freezer. You just add water to it. It costs nothing. Whereas if you buy it from the store, it comes in one of those cartons that's like $4 or $5, and it's whacked. It's covered in like plastic or wax or something, so it can't be recycled or composted. It has to be thrown in the trash. So
So what does she make?
broth, just
Broth. Okay.
broth. Yeah, just
So
water
like
and vegetables.
vegetable broth. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love that. I think it's so. I mean, because it doesn't have to be like we don't have to have like solar panels covering our entire property, and we don't have to have a 10-acre farm with all the animals. We can still be doing something like worm composting or gardening or making your own broth.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where can people find you?
I am on Instagram mostly, and it's just Grounded in Maine podcast. Or my website is groundedinmaine.com or amysgardenjam.com. We have
Nice.
a podcast there too.
Awesome. So is your jam all organic fruit?
Uh, it's m- it might be all organic. It's local. Like I pick the strawberries,
Nice.
so I can guarantee they're good. That's for sure. I've eaten many. But so I mean the raspberries and the strawberries I pick. The blueberries come from Maine also. So they're all Maine berries. The citrus I don't have any control over because it does not come from Maine.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for being on and sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
Well, and thanks for your tips. I mean, I'm always trying to make things a little bit better for everyone.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here to help for sure. I do have a book. It's called Happy Dogs Equal Happy Homes, and it is a problem-solving techniques book, and it's a question and answer pretty much. So you go to the table of contents, whatever issue that you're having, you go to that page, and then you read through that problem, and then there's a QR code for a lot of the problems. So you can watch a video to go along with the explanation of everything.
Cool.
So Happy Dogs Equal Happy Homes. It's on Amazon. You can also go to my website, which is thedogmystic.com. And in the front of the page is my book information. So thedogmystic.com. So
Awesome.
also if you can like and subscribe to my YouTube, which is The Dog Mystic, that would be absolutely fabulous. And yes, so thank you so very much. And wherever you're tuning in from today, thank you. Have a wonderful evening or day, wherever you're tuning in from. So enjoy.
Awesome.
Bye. Thank you.